We had mothers to raise us. They raised us to be women, raise our own children. Yes, see, y'all go pick them. All y'all want somebody you can put your hand on and whine and all cutting and all that foolishness. A woman has to be a woman. A woman places in a home. A man places to provide. And if he don't provide, then you don't need it.
So, Mama Agnes, what kind of women like us dudes just choose? How do you feel about us just choosing all these, you know?
I don't feel anything because I got my man. I've been had him for 54 years. And I always had to be a woman. I've been a woman. Look, I've been working since I was 7. I've been raising children since I was 5. I've been cooking since I was 4.5. And these women today, all they know is McDonald's, fast foods and stuff. They don't know nothing about cooking and feeding no man. Or wait till a man hard through his stomach, get you behind in there and cook,
you know,
and feed him.
And what about the
and
loyalty?
Make sure he get up off his butt and go to work.
Is that something that's missing in this community?
No, the women sorry. Now, they may not like me for saying it, but these young women today, they don't even raise their children. Their children raising them. Look, a woman place is to raise her children, and at the end of the day, tell their husbands which one they had to almost kill. That's how that go. That's why the juvenile center is so full, and they expanding the jails because mothers don't raise their children and we had mothers to raise us. They raised us to be women, raise our own children. Yes, see, y'all go pick them. All y'all want somebody you can put your hand on and whine and all cutting and all that foolishness.
Now, and by the way, welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Capri Social Network. I am your host, Capri, as always, aka Cap, and this here woman who happens to be in every bit of either her 60s or 70s, put it down to a T on the main reasons why so many modern day women fail in parenting and relationships. Because so many of you modern day women, and I would say beginning as young as ages 18 all the way up to the ages of 48 years old, some of the most thirstiest women when it comes to how much you are so sex crazed, and how a lot of you, some of you could have just had a baby around, say for instance, a month or two ago, only to go chasing right after another man who's not even the father of the baby, just so you could be able, you could have your way with the man, or vice versa, he could have your way with you, if you know what I mean. Just so, in other words, just so he could be able to, for some of you who may want me to clarify, elaborate more, just so you could be able to be intimate with him, because there are so many women around that age bracket, while around their kids, who may be right around their kids and may be talking to a whole different man other than the kids' father or fathers in most cases, because there are so many of you also having so many kids by more than one man to the point where it's ridiculous, and it's for the most part popularized. And some of you could have your kids right around you, kids that may be as young as a year old, and while having those kids right in your presence, could be on the phone with a whole different man who's not the father of the kid, and be saying what you would like to do, all the appropriate things you would like to do to him, or vice versa, what you would like him to do to you inappropriately. On top of that, where smoke weed around your kids, drink alcohol around your kids that young, and not only that, will even have the nerve to engage in sexual acts around kids that young, not realizing how it will eventually catch up for some of you women who have make a habit out of doing those kinds of things, inappropriate things around or in front of your kids. Because how many women, as a result of being that toxic of a mother and a parent to their kids, have had their kids taken away from them on behalf of CPS due to them being so much of a negligent parent. And pardon me, everybody, for stumbling over my words, which I had a tendency to do. So once again, my apologies for doing so. that I get that way sometimes when I do all I can to prove my point. Anyways, this is one of the main reasons why, and judging from my perspective, and after lacing you with the game, I'm lacing you not only on behalf of the gang that the older lady laced y'all with, which is true because a lot of you don't even much believe in cooking for your kids. Like she said, the majority of you believe in the first place you, or first initiative you may take as far as when your kids may get hungry and may want food to eat, is going to a local McDonald's to get them food instead of you getting in front of a stove and taking the initiative to cook for your kids. Which is another prime example of how there are so many lazy women who are such bad parents, and not only that, but who are just piss poor parents, as we say down here in the South, piss poor parents all the way around, because there are a lot of you who even may go as far as cussing out your kids. Some of you, and speaking of how she said how a lot of you don't like or believe in raising your kids anymore, instead you would prefer for the kids to raise themselves, their very own selves. This is one reason why most kids nowadays that are as young as 5 years old, I would say, as a prime example, case in point, are always on social media all the time, trying to look for things that they would like to ask their very own mothers about, but they can't ask their very own mothers about due to how there are so many mothers who have such a strong hatred towards their kids, especially on behalf of the mothers who have daughters. And not only that, but a lot of mothers who have daughters who may be around middle school age or older, are always trying to compete with their daughters by doing social media posts and reels with their kids, with their daughters particularly. But yet and still, these same mothers in some cases may pamper their sons to the point where it's like they almost want to be with their sons, be in an intimate relationships with their sons, the way some of them are so close to their sons, but go out their ways to be all hateful and mean towards their daughters. Once again, I'm referring to a lot of you women between the ages of 18, as young as 18, to as old as 48, 49 years old. Those are the main types of women nowadays who are so obsessed with social media to the point where they hardly have anything to do with raising their kids. And there is a couple of exceptions, though. Some of you who may take part in spending time with your kids may take time and being involved with your kids only when it may come a case such as when you may want to take your kids shopping to a local mall just to be able to get them the freshest clothes, either freshest clothes, freshest shoes, or take your daughters to also get her nails done, get her hair done. But the whole while you may be in the car with them prior to taking them to get these things done or buy these things, you hardly ever say 2 words to your kids. Instead, you're always frowning up all the time, always texting, either texting some other man on the phone with some other man, once again telling him what all the inappropriate things you would like to do to him, or vice versa, all the inappropriate things sexually you would like him to do to you right around your kids, speaking all kinds of foul language and practically ignoring your kids while they're around you in the car. I'm telling you, this current generation of modern day women just suck in parenting on all levels and relationships on all levels, to the point where so many of you can't even keep a man for even a whole day. Some of you suck so much in keeping a man as well. And this is one example of how, after stating what she said, that older lady in this clip that I showed courtesy, by the way, of Instagram, why so many of you are failures in marriages, especially after she said how she's been with her man for over 50 plus years. Some of you, once again, can't even keep a man for a day. And not only that, but the majority of you don't want long-term or wholesome relationships due to how you suck in picking men, because you pick some of the worst groups of men you can find, guys that are usually jailbirds, thugs, armed and dangerous criminals, guys who may be con artists, scam artists, that make it matters even worse, may be pedophiles, may have done prison time for pedophilia and child molestation. These are the types of guys you women around that age bracket go for nowadays, which is one of the main reasons why not only is the STD rate so high in the African American community, but why the divorce rate is becoming more higher in the African American community, yet and still the marriage rates are remaining at an all-time low. And due to how so many of you modern day women around that age bracket, 18, once again, between 18 to 49 years old, are consistently having kids by multiple men instead of choosing to marry first before you carry, so to speak. Anyways, you guys, make sure you like this video, you share, you comment on, last not least, you subscribe to the channel. Till next time, you guys have a good one.